Hello, World Civ 106 class. Welcome to week 2. I apologize. The last announcement, the volume was very low. I'm having technology problems, and I can't even articulate myself very well. Um, uh, and so I'm using this headpiece, but in the past, this has had too much noise or static, so I don't know how well this is going to work. I hope it's better for all of you this week. Um, so just to talk a little bit about the work I'm seeing coming in. I mean, I realize it's Sunday and many of you haven't even turned in your first papers yet. But what I'm seeing, things are mainly looking like they're being done right. So just keep in mind that some of the videos, especially if they're longer than usual, like if they're basically 25 minutes or longer, I probably am writing somewhere that you need to have more notes done on them, like 4 notes or 6. So please keep that in mind. And with the papers, don't forget to have dates covering time periods and works cited, no matter what you're doing. And I want to remind you that basically the assignments that I have are all meant to reflect the material that we covered. So when I'm looking at your notes, I'm looking at what you're saying in the discussion, and when I'm looking at in your papers, it's obvious to me that you watched the videos and you did the readings, and that you're addressing things that we actually went over in this class. Every once in a while, I get folks that try to pretend, and we're not gonna have that happen in this class, okay? But this week, I also want to say that I am I'm grading easy in the sense that if you turn in the paper, don't stress too much. Some of you might end up, freaking out like, oh, is this done right, or blah blah. Most likely I will give you full points for all the work you turn in this week, and then if you didn't do it right or I want it done differently, I will leave you notes saying, okay, good, but next week you will need to do X, Y, or Z. So please pay attention to any notes or comments that I have on your graded work. If I didn't make any comments, it's basically because I saw you did the work correctly, and I'm basically saying, well, what do I have to add to this? Like, you did what I asked it, and my comments are full points. Boom, just like that. Okay, so that's how this works. And keep in mind that this week for this class, I had let you do everything turn in on Sunday. But normally, mainly, you're going to be having notes and discussions on Thursdays and papers on Sundays. So that's how it's going to be next week. I just had a student ask me a question about that. And so what I also want to mention is this. Every once in a while, I will see that it's a rough week. I gave the example of, I don't know, this could be a very crazy week. We all know what's going on. There could be some major, these days there's so much drama in the political world. There's all this stuff going on, a pandemic, people not believing in pandemic, protesting the pandemic, but just so much stuff. Every once in a while, if I see that we're just collectively all distracted because something on the TV or what's going on out there, sometimes I'll just post an announcement and say, look, everybody, we're just going to have it all due Sunday. I know you can't concentrate right now. But that's why you got to pay attention to these announcements, okay? Because that's where I'm going to communicate with you about what's up. Having said that, we covered the first part, evolution. We're not going to be talking about that again. So if you don't like that topic, we're done. We're moving on with that. But now we're going to be moving into ancient Mesopotamia, which is interesting. And then we'll get into Egypt and ancient Israel. And I'll address certain things. I've noticed that when I teach this class that there's certain subjects that are a little bit more sensitive or controversial to certain students. And I always want everybody to feel comfortable and realize that this is a learning class. And as I always remind everybody, you're never required to believe anything that I teach. Your participation doesn't mean that you are signing away your own belief systems. It's you're learning about the secular historian's perspective, a consensus view on a particular set of topics. Okay, and I'll always kind of go over that because I also like you to understand how academia works. So just to clarify, when you go to grad school, and you deal with, like, let's say a topic in history, you don't just say, "Oh, this is the truth." You'll notice why. The reason why I don't have multiple choice questions is that's how schools kind of operate, like in high school and middle school, sometimes in like freshman classes in college. But mainly historians don't take that approach. Historians work with their understanding of the evidence they have towards the subject, and then often other historians will challenge them or try to actually like see if the case they're making stands up for the particular perspective they have on history. So, for example, the consensus right now in science is that humans emerged out of Africa through the hominid bipedal primates. The consensus of secular historians is that civilization starts in what is now the area of Iraq. Okay? But every once in, sometimes you can find this massive ancient find, and maybe it challenges this long-held consensus point of view about a particular thing. And so then things have to get altered after that. And there's always a natural resistance to change, whether it's in no matter what field that you're in. And so, but I'm just trying to, as we're going over a wide range of topics and we're focusing on religious systems as we delve into this class, it'll give you enough ideas and knowledge of these histories that if you actually care enough to delve into the wider range of debatable things, you'll have access, better means and ways to do that. So, and some of you are just trying to graduate and are already bored with this announcement. So I'm sorry to those of you who are those folks. In any case, you all, I hope you're staying good to each other and to yourselves, and we'll be in contact as needed. All right.